So this is the separation of binary mixtures lab. Sabrine has a sample. Show the camera, Sabrine. A little bit down, a little bit down. There we go. You can see it's got a stopper on it. We need to be a little bit careful about how we weigh this. We're going to be consistent and weigh it without the stopper. Would you please take the stopper off, Sabrine? Thank you. Go ahead now and weigh the test tube and the sand. You'll notice that the sand doesn't come out of the test tube. Even if it was flat, it wouldn't come out. And what she's doing now is she's going ahead and weighing using a triple beam balance. And of course, the best technique with triple beam balance is to make sure, as Sabrine has done, that everything is in the appropriate notch. In this one and this one. Now, this one doesn't have notches, of course, but this one has a notch and this one has a notch, and she has it in the notch there. So she's weighing the tube with the sand and salt mixture in it right now. Now as Sabrine is weighing this, she's doing it to 2 decimal places.
Half empty.
Now what Sabrine is going to do is she's going to pour half of that sample. Go ahead, and because we're going to use this for 2 trials, she's going to pour half of that. Doesn't have to be exactly half, but somewhere in the ballpark. Alright, she's doing a good job here. And a little bit more. So, that doesn't have to be exactly half, but somewhere in the ballpark. A little bit more. That'll do. Alright. And now what she's going to do is she's going to weigh this sample without the sand that she just took out. So go ahead. And again, she's just putting it on the balance. Again, without the stopper, you'll notice, because we want to be consistent about this. Now again, she's putting the stuff in the notch, making sure it's in the notch. Make sure it's in the notch, Sabrine. There we go, that's good. Alright, yes. Now it's in the 20 notch, right? Okay. And now she's reweighing it. The difference between what she did first and what she's got now will be the amount of sand that's in this beaker right here. So she's going ahead and weighing that. Again, she'll weigh that to 2 decimal places. The next step will be to dissolve this mixture, or attempt to dissolve it, into water. Obviously the salt will dissolve, but the sand won't. Sabrine, go ahead and add the water to the beaker. You'll notice there's about 50 mils of water in here, but it doesn't have to be exactly 50 mils, just somewhere in that ballpark.
Add it all?
Yes, add it all. Yep, add it all. There we go. That's good. Now she's going to stir it with a stirring rod, and she's going to do this for 5 minutes. So this is how you flute a filter paper. So what you'll do is you will fold it in half, and you will open it up and then fold it in half again. Miranda, let me know if I go out of the shot, okay? Please, thanks. And then you'll open it up and you'll fold it in half again. The idea is being to get 8 equal sectors. So opening it up and fold it in half again. So what you can see is all of these creases are pointing to the inside, and then when we turn it over, of course, to the outside. The next thing we're going to do, and this is kind of the hard part, what you want to do is get a single sector that looks like this. A single sector. Hold it on either side, your thumb and forefinger, like this. And then what you do is you push in with your finger, kind of like you're making a fan, and then fold it inwards like that. So you've got this here. Then what you'll do is you will fold all of the different sectors over onto that, just like you were making a fan from a piece of paper. Like this. You'll get to this point here, open it up again, fold this one in on itself, and fold this one in on itself. And now what we've got is a fluted filter paper. The benefit of this is that we get to use 100% of the filter area. Now Sabrine is going to draw some sort of identifying mark on her watch glass so that when she puts it in the oven, she can distinguish it from everybody else's. Go ahead and draw an identifying mark. Oh, is that pretty or what? It's a heart. That is so nice, Sabrine. So at this point, what Sabrine's going to do is she's going to weigh the watch glass and the filter paper. So go ahead and do that. And she's going to weigh both of those to 2 decimal places. Alright, now we're at this filtration step, and Sabrine is going to go ahead and filter the solution. So go ahead and put the filter paper in the funnel, please. Now before she gets started, we'll just point out what we've got here. We've got a filter funnel and a ring here against the ring stand, and we've got an empty beaker under here to collect the stuff that comes through. We're not really interested in what's coming through here, we're really interested in the sand. The technique that Sabrine is going to use is she's going to swirl it as quickly as she can, and then she's going to pour it in here as quickly as she can without losing any, and then she's going to rinse out her beaker with some DI water to make sure that she gets every last skerrick of sand out of the beaker. Alright, Sabrine, let's see you do it. So she's going to pour fairly quickly here, making sure she doesn't lose any. And you can look at her technique here. Yeah, try that again with the beaker, please. There we go. Just making sure she's getting everything out using the wash bottle. That's great. Okay. Now just a note about the filter paper here, make sure it's fast filter paper. If it's slow, this is going to take forever. The fast should be good enough to get all the sand at least. And what she's going to do is she's going to wait for that so that there's no water on top of the sand over here. And once that's done, she'll take it off and put it onto her watch glass. And then we'll put it in the oven. Now, what we've got here, I'm actually going to show you this, what it looks like inside here. And what you can see is there's no water on top of the sand anymore. That's your signal that you can take it out and put it on the watch glass. Would you please do that, Sabrine? Take it out and then lay it on the watch glass. There we go. All right, let's take a quick look at that, please. Yeah, a little bit higher, Thank you. That's great. Yes, that's very nice. All right, now we're going to put that in the oven. All right, Sabrine, go ahead and stick it in the oven, and you'll notice she's using some tongs here to do that. And she's going to stick it in the oven, and she's going to close the oven up. You'll notice she didn't spend a whole lot of time with the oven open, that way we keep the heat in. Also, the sample's done, so let's go ahead and take it out. Now, generally, it's going to depend on the oven, but let's take a look at the sample here, Sabrine. Would you mind bringing it up to the camera, please? You'll notice she's using tongs here. Would you bring it a little bit higher? Thank you. And you can see that sand looks dry. You can always tell the difference between wet sand and dry sand. Now she's going to take this over and put it on her balance. And Sabrine will put this directly onto the balance, and she will get her mass. Now, that's not just a filter paper. It's hard to see it, but underneath that is still the watch glass as well. So she's weighing the watch glass, the filter paper, and the dry sand. Now please keep in mind there's no need to weigh it while the sand is wet. It's pointless. All we're interested in is the mass of the dry sand. So as you can see, we've got our, could you move it up a little bit please? This is our half empty test tube. Would you take the lid off please, since we've been weighing it without the lid? And now what Sabrine is going to do is she's going to pour that remaining sample, this is the second trial, into the beaker. You can tap it against the side a little bit while it's while it's turned upside down. There we go, that's perfect. Okay, see it, just a little bit of a tap and you can get most of the stuff out. Now it's not necessary to get every last skerrick out of there because she's going to weigh it, and the difference will be what we're interested in the beaker anyway. So any residue left in there will be taken account of now because she is going to go ahead and weigh the empty test tube. And again, she'll be weighing that to 2 decimal places.